Today we're going to learn how to make dynamic GUIs such that widgets will appear or disappear depending on what you click in your GUI. So for example, we can click on this advanced button to show a more advanced GUI where we can click the radio buttons on or off and then unclick it to make it disappear again. So let's get started here. To start up guide, you're going to go to the command window and just type guide. Then this GUI will appear and you can choose whatever kind of GUI you want to start out with. You could choose one that's already built and use that as an example, but today we'll just start with the blank one. To lay out widgets on this graphical user interface is pretty easy. I know we're going to want to have this advanced button group, so I'll drop a button group in there, and then I'll drop a button and another button. And now we're going to want to have a toggle button that will tell us whether that group is visible or not. Once I have this up here, I'm going to double click on it to look at the properties. Now the property I'm interested in is the string, so I want that to say advanced, like this. Good. Next, I want to set the callback for this button. What that means is whenever this button is clicked, a callback is going to occur, and that allows me to run some specific code. I'll go here to View, Callback. MATLAB is going to prompt me to save this since it's new, and I'll just call it main. And it brings me to this callback. You can see that there's just a lot of subfunctions in this automatically generated code, and here's the one that runs whenever you click on toggle button 1. So what do we want to have happen when we click this button? Well, first we want to know the state of the button. If we look at the helpful hint here, it says get object value returns the state of the toggle button. Good. So I'm going to say copy this and want advanced is equal to that. So now it'll either be true if they want the advanced because it's clicked or not. So then we're going to go in here and say if want advanced, then we're going to say set the visibility of that button group to visible or not. Well, what is the name of that button group and how do I control it? The way we're going to find that out is we go back to the property inspector for that button group. If we look at all the properties, we can see that visible, on or off is one of the choices, and that the tag is UI panel 1. So that's how we refer to this widget, and that's the property we want to change. Let's go back to the callback, and we're going to say set, and we want the handle to that, so handles is brought in here to this function. It's something that's visible. And so we can say set handles.UI panel 1, and I want to set the visible property to on. Else, if they don't want advanced, then we're simply going to say set this to false or off. End. That looks good. I'm going to hit F5 to save and run. And here we go. If we click this, it's going to make that appear or disappear. Now you may have noticed a small problem with this, that when we started, I'm going to run this again from the beginning. Advanced is not clicked, but the button group is showing, and that's simply because that's the default state for this. So we want to make sure that the advanced tab is already clicked when we start, or that the button group is invisible at the beginning. Either one will work. In this case, why don't we just set the button group to invisible to start with? The way we can set the default properties is to go back to guide, click on this, go down to visible, and set it to off. Now, when we save this and run it again, you can push the play button. It's going to start invisible and we can click advanced and now it appears or disappears. So that's how you can create dynamic GUIs in MATLAB such that certain widgets are visible or not visible depending on what you do in the GUI. As always, if you have any other questions that you'd like to see answered in this forum, please send me an email. Thank you.